What did team chat? Oh, broke another exhaust stud.
Yeah, that's cool. That's gotta be the cabin. Crazy steep. Helps when you have power steering. Uh-oh. There it goes. You hit her. Oh, that's sketchy. I'm gonna take the bypass. God, he's not gonna go up that hill. That's insane. This is the only real sketchy spot. It's not too bad.
So with my one-way bearing gone, I had no engine braking. The back brakes were worn right down to the steel. And then I didn't even have a seat belt. So I just decided to take the bypass and made it down no problem. And then we headed into Toma Mountain.
Yeah, lots of water on this trail. It's fun. Fun trail. Oh, I'm on two-wheel drive still. I took my V10 up this trail one time. Yep, just first gear, low range, just taking her easy. It's a rugged old mountain trail. Nothing too hard, a little tight in spots, but oh, I just missed that tree. Not too bad. Just like switching bicycles as a kid, I'm gonna try the old Cowie. Watch it, it's got lots of power. This thing's like a Cadillac. Power steering, definitely an upright seating position. Yeah, power steering just makes it awesome. I actually think mine brakes better than this thing. This thing is doesn't have as good a braking, I find. It's kind of a spongy feel.
Those are the guys who passed us.
Is it?
Yeah.
When?
When we're at the.
Well, Andy's in old Team China. I'm in his Terex. It's quite a different experience, that's for sure. As you can see, it's a bit of a tight squeeze here. The roll cage's right touching the tree. Going down this little section. Hey, don't get too attached, Andy. God, give it back. I want that Team China back. Oh, funny stuff. Yeah, this is a cool unit. I like this Terex.
So we parked the machines and we hiked through the trees and we found this little hidden gem.
This is freaking spectacular. No way. Man, this is so neat. Look at this. Unreal. Wow, sounds like there's a waterfall here. Oh yeah, there is too. I can hear it. Oh, there we go. Little one. This is where it all begins. Look at this, just Mother Nature's like natural. Wow, you definitely don't want to go off of here. Look at this. Wow, so cool. this out. That's pretty cool. Just out for a rip. Oh, these are neat. Blood red. That's super cool, actually. Look at that, eh? Lots of cool stuff up in the mountains. Yeah, there is.
We explored around for about an hour down there, and then we seen some evidence that a grizzly bear had been in the area. Andy told me a story about friends of his getting charged by one in this same spot.
I need some water. Doesn't get any cleaner than that.
Well, it was getting late in the day, and we were still a couple hours away from camp, so we headed back home.
Well, that's what happens when you try to lose old Team China. There's no losing Team China on these trails, folks. And he lost his sweet saw, but I'll grab it for him. Man, that's a fun trail. We were just flying, just giving her. Pretty cool. Somebody lost their saw back there, sweet saw.
Is it an orange one?
Yeah, I just ran over it there.
Oh.
Well, we made it back to camp with no issues, so we made up some food, and then the usual, we mixed up some drinks and sat around the fire and partied for the rest of the night.
Half a bottle of whiskey in the morning after. Just had a nice bath, big hot pot of hot water. And there was my view for my shower. Worked out good. And yeah, feel like a brand new man. We're gonna go for a ride again. Team China. What did Team China? Oh, broke another exhaust stud. And what was the other thing that happened? Oh, I got one leaky tire, which I've known about. I had to fill that up. And my winch cable broke. Oh, I gotta fix my gauges. My door kept opening on the gauges. I must have bumped my winch switch, and I sucked in the winch, and the rope broke off. So I don't have a hook anymore. So I gotta fix that little door, and that's it. And then we're gonna hit the trail. Oh, I checked my diff. The oil looks brand new. Looks like brand new. Not even a little bit of discolored oil or nothing. So that's good. Nice and clean.
So I did my everyday repairs to Team China there, and then we hit the trail. It was just a beautiful day out. We weren't going to waste it. So we're heading back in the mountains and hopefully going to find some cool old stuff.
This is where Chevelle and I camped a few years ago. Nice little spot. I found a whole bunch of stuff up in the hills over there. I was metal detecting, and I found whiskey bottles and stuff, and I was surprised to see that the plastic from like around 78 or so hardly deteriorated at all. It just stayed the same.
You're shaking its butt.
Yeah, it's twerking.
Rover can do that better.
Well, look at this. I just happened to have to go, and we got a nice crapper here. I see it's not very clean. So I'm gonna, before I even go in there, I'm gonna get some moss. If you take this moss and you put it in there, breaks everything down, keeps it nice, and there's no smell or nothing, and it's nice and clean. So I'll do that first. Yeah, that's kind of nice to have that out in the middle of nowhere here. Okay, so I just went and got some moss, whatever you call that, and yeah, just put it on top of your toilet paper. Keeps the smell down, the bugs don't get in it, and it breaks it all down. This is actually a really good little setup because you just pick it up and bury this hole when it's done, and you pick a new one in another spot. I think this one used to be right there, actually, if I remember right. cabin up in here, and there's this old historic picture I got, and Andy figures it's this cabin, and I think he's right, but it's from like the 1920s. We'll go in there. I think that's the one, Andy. Wow, that's neat. Bet you're right.
There's an old stove there.
Yeah, old stove. So let's see if we can,
That stove kind of looks like yours.
yeah.
But, oh.
Then there's a trail here. I don't think I've been here, Andy. Yeah, that's cool. That's got to be the cabin. Good call, Andy. See, that's the thing. Like, if you ride with a big group, you miss a lot of stuff because people are just out for the ride. But when you just ride, like just me and Andy, we're always looking for stuff. Yeah, I bet you that was the cache, or it could have been the outhouse.
Watch out for that shit.
Yeah. Look at the view here. Look at
What's
this.
this?
This is an awesome area. Trails galore. And we found another old foundation here too. Of like their. Actually, this is a pretty big one. This could have been a cabin itself, eh? Unless this is the one in the picture. And then that one was built after. Maybe this was their food cache or who knows what. Definitely an old cabin in here. Like, look at the trees growing up in the middle of it. Cool. Well, Andy tried to go through there, but it was a little tough going. He's going for it. I'll just go this way now down here. Yeah, and this trail is really, really wet and rugged and muddy, as you can see. Deep. There's some deep holes.
So yeah, sometimes in the late 60s, early 70s, they drilled 3 oil and gas wells back in this area. So they would have upgraded the road. But the road was already here probably from back in the old day when they were exploring for coal. And this is a place called British Collieries. So they would have came back here on horses and then built all the cabins.
I'd love to see a picture of this place when it was standing. Look at how big it was, eh? That was a big cabin. Must have been beautiful on the inside. The old chimney's still there. Wow, is that ever neat? It's been a long time since I've been here. Yeah, here's another cabin here. And Andy says there's some train tracks over here and or like rail tracks for coal carts. And then there's another cabin in here, apparently. Yeah, there's some old pipe. Big, heavy, thick steel pipe. Like, is that drill pipe? Yeah, so then in the 70s, I think 73 or something was when they made those leases. There's three of them, I believe, back in here. 69 or 70, those years. But before all that, in the 20s, this was what they call British Collieries. And I think this is the spot, eh, Andy? Like where, because there's a couple of cabins, then the main house with the fireplace, that must have been the mine manager. Yeah, I've never walked back here myself, but Andy says there's another cabin, so we're gonna find it. Man, that's a massive cabin. Look at that. Holy moly.
Lots of nails in there.
Ow! Must have been the bunkhouse, eh? For the men? That's neat. Yeah, there's old metal cans back in here too. This is quite a ways away from everything else. Almost looks like this is an old road back in here. Old fuel cans, or I don't know what they are. Found some tracks for when they would have Brought the coal carts up, so must have been over here somewhere, eh? Hopefully we don't fall through the old shafts.
Yeah, there's a little cart. It used to be
Oh yeah.
in one piece.
Check this out. So is this the mine shaft maybe? Sure is dug out and built up. Wow, look at that. Yeah, that must be it, eh? You can see steel down in there. Cool. This must be the mine shaft, eh? Goes into the ground. All done with an axe though, eh? There are no power saws there. Pretty narrow little bridge. Yeah, this was a quad bridge that they put in here years ago. And then I think the Jeep guys and the guys that have the wider side-by-sides got a little ticked off. So they, bent the sides over. And then Andy was saying there was some logs on here. And then just not too long ago, there was logs that somebody put down both sides so that they could cross with Jeeps and stuff. But I don't know, it is pretty wet back in here. Some areas are okay for Jeeps and some areas aren't. That's what I like about this thing. Nice and narrow and small. You get down all the trails that the quads do. There's a bunch of deep holes like that, really deep ones, but there's bypasses around them. That's why I say just leave the mud holes. Let the guys that want to do the mud bog and let them not hurting the darn thing. There's no creeks here. The rest of us just get on with our lives and go around and life goes on. They're trying to make some of these trails like, gravel paved highways with bridges over everything. I mean, it's just one little strip through the bush, right? Not hurting a thing. Well, I lost my knife. Hopefully it's back at the chimney. But anyway, this is all muskeg in here, over here. So you can see there's an old road there, an old trail, probably an old winter road. Andy thinks maybe there's something back in there. But anyway, we're not gonna go through here because if we get stuck in this muskeg, it can be quite the ordeal to get out. Bit of a tight trail here. Cool, very cool little trail though. Well, I drove right by this cabin. Didn't even see it, and Andy honked his horn. It was eyes on the trail, I guess, eh? Look at that. Pretty old one, man. That's probably like a 1920s or 30s, eh? Or older even. Not far away, another cabin. All cut with axe and saw. No chainsaws here. Something went on back in here.
Yeah.
Old Trapper's Trail, still going. Trying to go back to the chimney to get my knife. Hopefully it's there. Looks like another old cabin, then found this cool old Esso can. Holy man, that is crazy steep. Damn, I don't know if old Team in China will make that. Look at the rocks coming down. That's super steep. So I'm gonna try it in reverse. I'm gonna go up it because my back brake's not, like the pads are done and it's not holding. So if I go up and I can't, and all I have is front brakes, I'm just gonna skid backwards. So I'm going to try backing up it in reverse with diff lock. And I also have a rev limiter, which sucks, but we're just gonna go as far as we can. And then at least this way, if I spin out, I can at least go forward, you know? That's the plan anyways, because that is a pretty damn steep. I'd probably make it, but it's just not worth trying. Okay, I got her in diff lock. Yeah, Yeah, that's the problem. Is it's just can't take chances with this stuff. Like, I mean, yeah, I possibly could have climbed all the way to the top. I mean, we're half there, right where we're at now. But I mean, at least I don't have doors. I don't even have a seat belt there. I wouldn't want to be in it for the rollover anyway. I'd be hurt bad. And who knows if that cage would hold up. But it's just, the problem is it's one thing, if you could power out, that's a problem. For me, my diff lock won't let me go full power. And even when it does, it's really, really hard to steer. Plus with the big fat tires, I mean, if it kicks off to the side or something, I'd probably lower my tires down to like 3 PSI to climb this hill, because that would give me a lot more traction than what I've got right now. I've got 8 in there. Anyway, so yeah, the other thing is like if it starts to go to the left, you know, off the trail, then it's coming up and over, and it's gonna be, I got one move to make, and I better be able to bail and get a long ways away, because if I get caught or I trip or something coming out, that side-by-side lands on me, it kills me. Anyway, we're gonna keep going. Gives you an idea how steep it is. So there's the angle of it. This isn't, look at the trees, they're straight up and down, there's no angles, I'm not doing anything fancy. That's how steep this hill is. Well, we made her, folks. I had to do the time-lapse thing, but basically what happened there was I was anchored, and then we put the sling.
Heads up, Chris.
Oh, there is one coming. See, look at this. And they... Whoa. Okay, no more of that. So yeah, and then I hooked my sling up to his winch. He's got a winch on the back of his quad, and he hooked it on. And then we were just winching. It was gonna be real slow. And I said, well, let's go. And I didn't realize how steep it was for him. He's still pretty steep where he was anchored. And he kind of didn't want to, or he wasn't sure about it. So then and I said, well, just take your foot off the brake. When you take your foot off the brake, I'll go. So we did that at the same time. And then it didn't even actually feel steep. Like once I got to here, it didn't really feel that steep. But that's kind of how it is, like in the hills that I work in. Like I work in steep hills with my dozer. And it'll seem really sketchy and steep at first, but then once I'm there for 5-10 minutes, it seems like nothing. However, this is just, I think doesn't have good brakes, and you know, like any little thing happens, you're a goner. Like you could see the plastic. I hope that guy wasn't hurt or killed. I hope he just bailed and wrecked his machine, but looks like it rolled from the top and hit this tree on the way down here. Anyway, we made her. And see, like even like this rock here, that's enough to get somebody in trouble that's climbing. So I'm gonna let it go. There. Yeah. Okay. Man, it's a hell of a climb. More hills, but these aren't bad, Andy says. Still pretty steep. This is the rocks coming down. Flapping my leg. Oh. Keeps going. Well, look what I found, folks. Yeah. So I had a little, you know, number 2 right there. So I always put my knife, you know, on my belt buckle loop here. And that's probably about the 3rd time I've lost it. So I got to do something because, yeah, when I undo my belt, sometimes I don't notice that it falls off. I'm just glad I found it. My old timer knife. I got it. Well, I was trying to get this river that was chasing us down the hill, but... Well, it's just water hole after water hole after water hole. Some of them are up to the, well, over the floorboards. They've all got a bottom, so that's good. Well, that was the deepest river crossing old Team China's ever seen. It was right up, well, my butt's all wet. So it was up to about here, I guess. Actually, that's where my air intake is right there. But she did her. It was getting a little squirrely there. Right there, it gets pretty deep. Doesn't look deep, but it is. Andy was over up to his doors over there. Well, might as well grab some firewood. Everybody's gone for the weekend. Oh, we got a bit of wood. Andy went across the road there. A couple little random camping spots in here. I've never camped here. I like this spot though. I like camp here one day. Well, cooked up some mussels for tonight. Cook stove here. Yummy, yummy. Got salmon going here. Should be good.
In episode 3, Team China has some more exhaust pipe issues. We have some wild horses that roll into our camp. We get a couple of rainy days, so we head out on the trail trying to finish off one that I had started cleaning back in 2017. Then we head to the old ghost town of Mountain Park that shut down in 1950. We search the grave site and look for Charles Lee's grave. We get another sunny day, so we head back out and see if we can find the old campsite from 1930 that Charles Lee and his family camped at.